All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our second series of our virtual CTDW. Today's session, we're going to be focusing on marketing, and USTA Georgia brand manager, Lindsey Davila, is going to take care of us today. Lindsey, it's all yours.
Thank you, Michael. Hello, everybody. I cannot see anyone. This is terrifying because I can't see anyone. So I don't know who's in here, who's not. But hopefully we will walk away from this presentation with a little bit more insight into marketing and a few more ideas for your CTA. So we will go ahead and get started. As Michael said, my name is Lindsey Davila. I am the brand manager for USTA Georgia. I have not always been in this position. I have been with USTA Georgia. It'll be 12 years this October, which is crazy. But in my previous life, I was in the adult league department. I know some of you might know me from that area. I oversaw the recreation programs, and then just last April, so I've been in this position a little over a year, kind of completely switched gears into the marketing world, which I love, and having so much fun. So now I am kind of taking over and having a good time. And here I am. There's me. These are my two daughters. This was last year actually at city final. So they're a little bit bigger now. Don't mind, this one's Passy. So if you've been in any of my past sessions at our CTDW, I usually like to start my presentation with a quote, and I felt like this one was very fitting. Marketing is too important to be left to the marketing department. So I feel like marketing is everywhere and everyone plays a part. So regardless if you are a board member within your CTA, if you are your CTA president, if you're a local league coordinator, I feel like everybody is capable of marketing. Don't just leave it to your marketing person, because everyone, you're all able to sell yourself. You're all capable of selling your CTA. I feel like everyone has that 30-second elevator pitch where someone comes up to you and asks, what does Sequoia Tennis Association do? Or what does SETA, what do they do? And you are all able to sell that to them. So as we go through this, even if you're not quote unquote a marketing person within your CTA, just keep in mind that you all can do this. You don't have to go to school to be a marketer. Here is the overview, some of the things that we're going to be discussing today. The first one is the marketing match grant. How to write your grant. These are basically some of the past ideas, things that have been really great, things that have worked, and things that might not have been approved. So we're going to go over those. Marketing support, we're going to go over some of our marketing assets. Oh, I'm sorry, I should go back and say that if you guys do have questions.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hello.
If you guys do have questions throughout this session, please you can either put them in the chat, and Michael's going to be monitoring them and he will let me know, or you can just speak up and let me know. So sorry, I forgot to mention that in the beginning. And then if you're not talking, just please mute yourself. Where were we? Okay, so marketing assets, we'll go over those, how to market yourself in your CTA, how to sell yourself, coming up with a plan. Captain and player appreciation, you want to make sure that you're appreciating your current customers. The new brand, we're going to talk about branding, all things logos, the approval process. Then we'll touch on our USTA Georgia initiatives. This is some of the things we've done in the past, what we're currently doing, and some of our ideas for the future. And then we will do a quick recap at the end. So let's go. We are starting with our marketing match grant. And if you're not familiar with this, this is available to our USTA Georgia approved CTAs for marketing purpose. So anything marketing that you can think of, this grant is for you. And we're gonna go over some of the ideas in the next slide. So just pay attention to those. This is a 50-50 matching grant, meaning when you apply for this grant, if you are requesting $1,000 from us, that means that you are also, the CTA is putting $1,000 into that. So that's where the matching portion comes into play. Here is the website for where you can access the grant. This will be on our website, as well as this whole presentation, this presentation deck. I think Michael spoke about that. So you don't have to write this down or save this. This will all be available to you guys. And we still have money left. We've had about 5 or 6 CTAs this year that have already submitted for their marketing grant, which is great. I'm so proud of them. Thank you guys for already submitting, but we still do have some money left. So as we're going through this presentation, you have a great idea and you come away with something, don't forget to apply because we can help you. So here are some of the great ideas that we have had in the past. This particular CTA, they were hosting a block party and they wanted to do some fun giveaways. So whether you're hosting a block party or some type of fun family tennis day or, you know, one-day fun tournament, if you want to provide logo t-shirts, maybe you want to put your logo and your website on a t-shirt or any kind of promo material and you want to hand those out to your volunteers, that's a great way to use the money. Towels, promo items, anything like that. Anything that basically has your logo or your website address, anything like that, that will get you out there is a great idea. Banners, promoting your CTA and your programs. This is another inexpensive way to get you guys' name out there. Banners, depending on what size you would like. That could be pretty inexpensive. And if you ever need assistance with finding a place to purchase banners or even coming up with the graphics for banners, let me know because I love, as you'll see, I will love creating and coming up with all kinds of stuff. So banners is another good option. Teaching professional swag. I thought this was a great idea. This particular CTA, they run a tennis apprentice program and they wanted to give kind of like a twofer. They wanted to give shirts and hats with the tennis apprentice logo on them to their teaching pros that taught tennis apprentice. So it's a gift for the teaching pros, but it's also a way to market that program. So when those pros are done, you know, they're in the grocery store, they're out somewhere else and someone sees their shirt or their hat and they see that logo, that's another way for them. And they're basically selling that program to those players for you. So keep that in mind. And then this last one, I really love this one, digital platform for marketing. This CTA, they wanted to come up with a website that had their promo items or their apparel like hats, t-shirts, towels that had all their stuff on it, and they wanted to sell that. I guess they had a lot of customers that came to them and said, hey, where can I buy, you know, some of these t-shirts or whatever with your logo, and they're coming up with a marketing or a website to sell all that. So keep that in mind. That's another great idea. We love that one. These could use some work. Now, I'm not saying all of these are bad. These are all good in their own way, but they could have been tweaked a little bit. So the first one is anything that is one-time use only. And when I say one-time use, obviously you know what that means. This particular CTA, they had the great idea. They wanted to purchase one of those, you know, 8x8 or 10x10 tents. Wanted to put their logo on it, their website address, all that is great. But when they submitted it, they wanted to just do it for one event. And they didn't elaborate on how they could use it for other events. So make sure, obviously that would not be approved. We want something that you're using time and time again. So make sure if you want to do something like that, make a big purchase like that, maybe make sure that you're utilizing it more than just once. Make sure you can use it throughout the year. The second one, an instance where you receive additional funding from another department. And for this example, I'm going to talk about awards. So with our league department, we fund some of the local league awards. Our league department funds those, I believe a portion of those. And this particular CTA, they wanted to use it as a gift and as an award. So it's kind of like a double dipping thing. So if you're getting money from somewhere else, like from the awards, from, you know, basically, we really can't approve it on the marketing side. So make sure you're staying away from that. These next two probably are pretty self-explanatory. Facility rentals and insurance doesn't really go under the marketing umbrella. We really don't cover that. And then salaries, if you're teaching pros or anyone affiliated with your CTA, that will definitely not happen. And then on the last one, if you've already applied for a different grant, which kind of goes in with this one, the double dipping instance. So those are just some of the ones that just need a little bit of work, but still good ideas. All right, we will head on over to marketing support. We all need a little love and a little support. So our first one is marketinggenerator.usta.com. You guys might have already heard this. This is National's marketing generator site, and this is a really good site to use if you haven't already been there. They do provide templates. You can see down here, there's a couple of them. Fence banners, flyers, posters. I believe they also do postcards. And the great thing about this is that all the graphics and logos and everything are all right there. All you have to do is pick what you'd like. So if you want a fence banner, a poster, a postcard, you pick which template you would like, you put in the information. You can even insert your own logo. There's a way to do that. You download it and then save it and then print it however you'd like. So this is a great tool, a great option. With the new brand, and I'll be talking about the new brand in a few more slides, but with the new brand, National is going to be adding a few more assets to this website. If you go there now, there's not a ton of material, but over the next few months, just know they're going to be continuously adding more and more with all the new brand pictures and colors and logos. So just keep checking back. The next one, that's a great one, resources.usta.com. There's a lot of great material there. This third one is probably my favorite, Canva. If you have never heard of it, you need to go check it out. I know some of our CTAs do use Canva. This is a free website, a free service. And to be honest, this is kind of like my little playground. I love it. I'm on here probably almost every day, and I create most of our marketing material from this website. And you want to talk about what you can create, it's basically anything. If you want to do a video, if you want to do a presentation, if you want to do a Facebook or social media or an Instagram post, there's certain templates you can do that. If you want to create a logo, a sticker, a brochure, anything, it's all on there and it's all free for you to use. So if you guys ever need assistance with that or help with that, please reach out to me. Let me know. I am more than happy to. We can set up a little tutorial. We can do a Zoom call. I could walk you through it, or I could come to you. We could set up laptops and we can just create a bunch of marketing material for you guys and your CTA. So this is another great tool. Please use this one. And then Vista Create. To be honest, I haven't really done a lot with Vista Create, but it's very similar to Canva and it is free. It just has like a different face, but it does offer the same amount of tools. So that's another one to check out if you haven't checked out that. USTAgeorgia.com, our marketing page. To be completely honest, I have not even touched this. This is my goal for before the end of the year to get this updated with basically a lot of this information and tools and tips and tricks to help you guys. So just check back on that one. I will have that. And then of course me, use me, please use me. I know everyone always says, oh, if you ever have any questions or, don't be afraid to reach out, but I truly mean that. I love doing this stuff. I love helping you create items or coming up with ideas. This is something that I find I'm really passionate about. And even this year alone, I've had multiple CTAs. Hey, I need help creating a flyer, or I need help creating a logo. I've created a few logos for a tournament. So if you ever need anything and you're just, short on time or freaking out, please reach out to me and I'd be more than happy to help. How to market yourself, sell yourself and your CTA. I don't know if anyone's ever seen this meme, but I love it. You can basically write anything. So I'm not very creative. Yes, you are. Everyone is creative. You just got it. Some people just need to sit down and really think about it. So I've come up with a top 10 list, and by no means do I think that you need to tackle every single one of these. That is not what I'm saying. This is just a top 10 list that I created. And if you could, do 2 or 3 of these, that is awesome. That's great. So the first one, which I feel is probably the most important, is come up with a plan. You don't want to go throughout the year saying, oh yeah, we'll do that in a couple months, or we'll do that at the end of the year. It's way better to have something written down on paper or on a document that you can go and revert back to and be like, okay, and this month, this is what we're going to plan to do. Case in point. So the person in this position before me, a lot of you probably know her, Kim Letts. She had this great idea, which I adopted as well at the end of every year. So it was in the fall, it was probably like in November. she would sit down with each one of our departments and she would separate them into the adult league department and then separately the juniors and school department. And we would all sit down in a room, all of us together, and we would put up these giant Post-it notes on the wall. And she would just say, okay, go, come up with or write down any idea that you have for next year. And it didn't matter if it was crazy, if it was silly, if it was free, if it cost $1,000, if it cost $5,000. We put everything down. And then at the end, we would go through and say, okay, I want to do these 2 or 3 ideas for next year. So boom, right there in a matter of an hour, we already had a plan or a list of things that we wanted to do. So if you guys have a board meeting at the end of the year, even at the beginning of the year, I encourage you to just go around the room. You don't have to make it crazy. You don't have to say, okay, come up with 5 ideas. Just see if everyone could bring one idea to the table, write it down, and then at the end of your meeting, maybe pick 2 or 3 and tackle those for the next year. There you go. You already have somewhat of a marketing plan for the next year. And this leads me into number 2, develop marketing campaigns. This was, and you can do those quarterly, you can do those once a year, you can do one marketing campaign for the entire year and just run with it. The quarterly marketing campaigns, this was my goal the beginning of this year, and I've already failed because I missed the first quarter, but I did pick it back up. And we did do a second quarter marketing campaign and a third one, and we're going to do one in the fourth. So again, come up with that plan and push it into those marketing campaigns. That's a great idea. Number 3, create a clear and powerful tagline that you want others to associate with your CTA. I love this idea. This is probably one of my favorites off this whole list. Because whenever somebody sees it, they can automatically revert back to your CTA. As an example, I know CODA, they just came up with a super simple one. It's Play Tennis Athens. You know, CODA is in the Athens area, and it's just Play Tennis Athens. That's it. So whenever somebody sees that, you know, the more and more they see it, they can say, oh, yeah, that's that, you know, Clark Oconee Tennis Association. USTA South Carolina, they're very similar. Theirs is Play Tennis South Carolina. If you're in the Atlanta area, or if you've heard of ALTA, their tagline is where Atlanta comes to play, which is I love that one. I love it. So I would highly suggest, why don't you just steal it? You know, like if you're in Savannah or Bainbridge, where Bainbridge comes to play, where Savannah comes to play. Don't be afraid. It's not stealing something. You're just kind of adopting it and you're making it your own. So I love that one. Number 4, update your website often. I know, and you guys know, there's nothing more frustrating than going to a website and seeing outdated information, whether it's, you know, a calendar from 2020 or a page that says information coming soon, and it's been coming soon for a year. So make sure you're just keeping up to date on that website, because a lot of your customers, a lot of your players, you know, you're driving them to your website. You want to make sure that you have the correct information for them and not frustrate them. Number 5, step up your social media game. So in a couple weeks, I'm going to be hosting another session, doing another session all on social media. So I won't dive too much into social media today, but just make sure you're staying on top of your social media. And that does not mean, and I encourage you not to be on every single platform. Don't think that you need to be on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Like, don't think that you have to be everywhere. If you're good at Facebook or Instagram, then stick with that one. If you can do both, that's great. But just make sure that if you're on one of those, that you're pretty consistent with it. If you can post every day, which trust me, I know it's very difficult sometimes, that's great. If you can only do, you know, every other day, that's great too. Just stay consistent with it. Form partnerships within your community. This is a big one. A lot of you already have great relationships with some of your local restaurants or your shops. But if you don't, make sure you're forming those relationships, because those are going to be the ones that help you market your CTA and your programs, and vice versa. You'll be able to help them out as well. So make sure you're forming those great relationships. Number 7, use email marketing. Create a monthly newsletter or an e-blast. Have, you know, your adult league calendar, your league calendar on there, important upcoming dates. Maybe include like a fun video or a fun, you know, 30-second tip of the day, anything like that that could be sent to your players. Number 8, don't be afraid to use video. This kind of goes hand in hand with social media. And I will tell you, one of the thing that attracts people the most on our social media is video. By far, we get the most hits when we post a video. And what do people love more than video? Is video of themselves. They love it. So don't be afraid to go out and think outside the box. Go out to those, some of those local league matches and go up to your players and just ask them a question. Say, hey, just if you could play doubles with any professional player, who would it be? Or whose player box would you want to sit in? And then compile that video. I can help you with that if you need assistance with that, and post it on your social media. Oh, wait until you see how many people like that video. It's insane. Just something small like that. Number 9, get out to local events. And this doesn't just mean tennis events. Again, think outside the box. If you have a minor league baseball team in your area, or a farmer's market, or a festival, any type of event like that where you can get out and give away promo items, again, with the money that you use from the marketing match grant to buy your promo items. I encourage you to do that any way that you can get out and outside of the tennis world. And number 10, again, use me. Use me. Okay. Don't forget to appreciate captain and player appreciation. So another thing that frustrates me is, and hopefully I'm not alone on this, is when I hear, the direct TV commercials or cable company commercials or cell phone commercials, and they're saying, oh, new customers, you get 2 new phones and we'll pay your rent forever and we'll buy you this. And then, oh, but if you're a current customer, we're going to raise your bill $50 and we're going to take away some channels. There is nothing that frustrates me more. I know some of the cell phone companies are trying to get better, but the point is that you don't want to forget about the customers that are still there, the ones that have kept you going all these weeks and all these years. So this is where we go into our captain and player appreciation. I highly encourage you, if you don't do that yet, just think of something that doesn't have to be big. For example, like a captain appreciation, maybe at the beginning of your league season, maybe you do a thank you to your captains and do a captain's breakfast, where again, you're working with your local community, and maybe you have a restaurant that would like to donate. And I say breakfast because it's the cheapest. Maybe they want to donate some muffins or bagels or something, and then you just host a little, stop by the tennis center from 8 to 10 for captains, just a little captain appreciation and grab breakfast. Something like that shows they're appreciated. And everyone knows just the little things that show how much you are appreciated. And then same with player appreciation. Maybe do something similar as, with your promo item, stop by the tennis center between this time to pick up a promo item from us. Thank you for playing, thank you for playing Nagda, anything like that. Sorry, my light keeps going off. Local business appreciation. So the ones that I'm talking to you about, those community partnerships, you also want to appreciate them too, because they're helping you. And maybe you go to them and again, maybe go give them some free swag, or come up with a day where it's like a free tennis lesson day, where you go to these companies or these local businesses and say, hey, we're hosting a free tennis lesson today. We'd love for you guys to come out. Thank you for always appreciating us and showing your support. You get them there to the tennis center, doing some free tennis lessons. Oh, then by the way, this is where you guys swoop in, and you can say, oh, right here, we have our tennis apprentice program. We'd love for you guys to sign up, or here are some of the leagues that we offer. So it's kind of a twofer. USTA Georgia Captain Appreciation. I'm going to talk about this in a little bit, but this is something that we are going to be doing and we have done in the past. Member Appreciation Month. This kind of goes hand in hand with the Captain and Player Appreciation, and a month might be kind of long, but this is another idea that I kind of had just to kind of stretch out that appreciation to all of our members, and maybe do giveaways, every other week, and just do some fun things. And then this last one, I am pumped. I want to do this so bad. I'm going to figure out a way. Virtual yoga or a virtual stretching class. So, and it doesn't have to be long, maybe like 30 minutes. I definitely want to do this. And this is something that if you want to drive more people to your social media, this is a great way. And this is also a part of member appreciation. Just post it or do an email marketing blast, or post on your social media and say, hey, on this day, we're going to be doing virtual yoga. We'd love for you guys to come back. And that just drives a ton more traffic back to your social media. So keep an eye out for this, because I definitely want to do this. Hopefully you guys will participate. Michael's going to be hosting. He's going to be doing the yoga.
Right.
Okay. The new USTA brand. So if you've been paying attention to this presentation, you might have noticed a lot of new colors, some new font, a lot of new pictures. That is all part of the new USTA brand. And this was launched right before, actually at the US Open last year. And their marketing campaign was Let's Tennis. And this is all about, I love it for one. I might be the only one that loves it, but I love this new brand. And it's all about, I feel like it's just more real and it's more realistic. So you can also see here in these pictures, not a lot of fancy clothes. It's not really staged, no fancy rackets, different age groups, different demographics, different backgrounds. And then I'm going to show you a quick video that kind of gives you a little more insight into it, or you can see what I mean.
Tennis is superb.
Tennis is fire.
Tennis is lit. Vamos.
Let's go.
Nice shot.
Come on.
Tennis happens here too. Good morning.
It's my first time.
Well, it's not mine.
So as you can see, if I can get out of it.
Tennis is
As you can see, it's very different from past. It's very real and right now, and you can see all different age groups, demographics, backgrounds. I love it. That just kind of gives you a little bit more insight. And here are a few more of the stock photos, the pictures. You can kind of get a sense of the new brand. Which brings us to our logos. This is my favorite part. It's not. All right, so over here, we're gonna do the thumbs down first. So this first logo right here, you'll probably recognize this. This is our most recent logo that is now not being used, but you can see it's the USTA, the flaming ball, and then the Southern Georgia underneath. And this font is more of this boxy kind of letter font. And this is old as of now, actually as of the beginning of this year. So if you have this logo anywhere on your website, if you use it anywhere on your social media or any marketing material, please get rid of it, because this is now considered an old logo, and we will not be using this going forward. This particular one with this font. The same goes for this, the two-tone blue stacked logo, this baby blue and the darker blue. That is also considered an older logo. So if you have that anywhere on your website, please get rid of that. And then the program logos. This is pretty recent. They have discontinued all of our program logos. So USTA League, Junior Team Tennis, we are no longer using those logos. And then come on over to our thumbs up. These are our current logos. These are now the ones that we will be using moving forward. As you can see, these are somewhat similar, the Georgia logos, but this font is the more rounded font right here and a little bit bigger. So we'll be using this one. And then this is our USTA national logo. This one really didn't change at all. The only big change with the logos is the color. Right now, for the time being, we're only using black or white. I know that might not really affect you guys because there's no real big reason for you guys to be using our logo or the national one, but in the case that you ever want to get branded items with these logos, we're only using black or white for the time being. And I'll talk more about logos. Here we go. So the approval process, if you want to use the logo, I know in the past we've had people reach out, CTAs reach out and say, hey, we want to gift some of our volunteers or some of our board members. We want to give them a hat with the logo on it, or shirts or polos, which is great. We love that. But you will have to go through an approval process. So if you want to do that, just email me. I will provide you the logo, whether you want the Southern Georgia logo or the national logo. And then once you receive a proof for your item, you send that to me. I in turn then have to send it to Southern, sorry. And then Southern needs to send it to national to get approved. So it's a little bit time consuming, and that's just because it's the new brand, and national just wants to make sure we're all using everything correctly. So yeah, if you ever want to get something approved, it has to go through me, and I have to send it off to the correct people. And then the use of stock photos. So you've probably seen throughout this presentation, these photos and images and videos included. All these are stock photos that I have access to. So if you ever want to create, again, your marketing material through Canva, and you want to use one of these stock photos, please reach out to me, and I would be more than happy to send that to you to use, because I love these photos. All right, now let's move on. Our USTA Georgia initiatives. These are some of our marketing campaigns from the past, and some of our present ones or our current ones, the ones that just finished up. And this first one is my favorite because it's my first. It was the first one I did. And we launched this at the Truist Atlanta Open last year. And the premise behind this was to let us know how you make your mark in life, or how will you make your mark in life or in tennis. It could have been either one. And we set up a giant banner, and we provided these tennis ball stickers, and people wrote down all types of things. We had some that say, I'm a teacher, I'm an educator, or I volunteer here, or I donate here, or I've taught tennis for 20 years. And we did this with our staff too. We actually did staff videos. If you didn't see the video, it's way back on our Facebook page, but we had our staff come forward and say how they make their mark. And then it kind of took a turn. I wanted to continue it, and we reached out to you guys, our CTAs, and you guys were so generous. I think we had 10 or 11 that submitted how you guys all make your mark. And again, this is selling yourself. You guys in turn submitted to me and said, hey, this is what we do. And this is you guys selling yourself to me. And I know, and everyone knows what all the CTAs do. We all know that you provide programs. We all know you provide a service, you provide tennis. But what a lot of people don't know is all the behind the scenes and the background initiatives and background stuff that we would have no idea about. We never know where you're, volunteering, or you have a grant for scholarships for your high school students. So these are all great things. Again, selling yourself. This middle one, hashtag, this is USTA Georgia. I actually stole this from Delta. Again, it's not about stealing. It's about being present out in the world and seeing, if you see a marketing campaign or something that you like, just think, okay, how can I use this in my CTA? If you like it, you can spin it within your community, and 9 times out of 10, everyone else is going to like it too. So I saw this, I stole this from Delta. I was on a flight somewhere, and I was going down the walkway to the airplane, and they had all their giant posters, or Delta posters. And one of them over here was, this is what community looks like. And it had a picture of a lady, and it was Delta basically saying, we give back 10% of our profits to something. And then over here, this is what relaxation looks like. So I was like, oh, we can totally do that. Because again, one of my main goals was trying to sell, not that, yes, we provide tennis, everyone knows that, but everything else that we do. So I think this was our state championship one. And then we did one for schools. We did one for our foundation. So this is another one. And please adopt any of these ideas for you guys. I highly encourage you to take these ideas and make them your own and do them yourself. And then this last one I love as well, players of USTA Georgia. We actually just wrapped this one up. This was our marketing campaign for National Tennis Month in May. And if you haven't seen, I got this idea from somebody else. There's this guy who created this concept. It's called Humans of New York. If you've ever seen it, it's awesome. There's his website and he's all over social media, Humans of New York. And what he did was basically went all over New York City and got these real life stories of all these New Yorkers. So I said, oh, I bet we can do this with the players of USTA Georgia, because I have always been interested in the background stories of players, when they started, who got them involved in the sport, why they got started. And so if you haven't been on our Facebook page, I highly encourage you to go there and read some of the stories, because some of them are pretty amazing. What's to come? Our USTA Georgia Captain Appreciation. We have done this in the past, but of course I've been slacking this year and I have not done anything. But I will be starting in July, and it's going to be an online submission where players can nominate their captain, and we will send them either a hat or a towel. I haven't figured it out. And the new thing that I want to do is a yard sign. I'm all about these fun yard signs and just big letters, USTA Georgia League Captain of the Month. So I'm hoping these captains will put it on their front yard. I don't know, but I feel like it's a great idea. Birthday promotion. We have done this in the past. If you remember, I think it's the past maybe 2 or 3 years, maybe longer. We did the birthday balls, where if you were aging up out of your age group, we sent you a can of tennis balls. Everyone knows that with the tennis ball shortage, that's been kind of difficult. So we came up with this idea to maybe do something more digital, where we send an email to each one of the players aging up and maybe do a fun gift card, like maybe a Smoothie King $5 gift card or an Amazon $5 gift card, just to show that we appreciate them and just to remind them they're aging up. Tennis Apprentice in a Box. This was an idea we had last November when we sat down for all our marketing meetings. And this is basically just sending, like what it is, Tennis Apprentice in a Box, sending banners, marketing collateral, promo items, anything to help our current CTAs that run the program, as well as ones that maybe are not running the program yet. And then of course, more fun marketing campaigns. Those are on the rise. So make sure you're checking us out on our social media and you'll see all those too. All right, we're to our takeaways. Come up with a plan. And I have that underlined because I feel like that's one of the most important ones. Come up with a plan and run with it. Use the marketing match grant. After you've completed your plan or you've come up with a plan, submit that marketing match grant with all the great ideas that you have. Use the marketing resources we discussed. Canva, that was a big one. And of course, me, don't forget to use me. Recruit a marketing person. Some of you are very lucky to have a marketing person within your CTA designated for marketing. Some of you are not. If you do not, I highly recommend, even if you do some type of internship with a college student, college students are always looking for internships, and even if you can't pay them, maybe they're a tennis player and maybe you can pay their league fee or give them a case of balls or give them something just to help you out throughout the year. So I highly suggest, if you haven't done that, just find a marketing person, because I know everyone, especially the LLC, and everyone has different jobs, and sometimes you just don't have all the time for marketing. And then update your marketing person contact information with me. I have a giant list that I adopted, and I just want to make sure that I always have the correct information and I'm reaching out to the right people. So if you have a new marketing person that joined on, or if their information has changed, just please reach out to me and let me know so I can update my sheet as well. All right, we are to the end. Questions?
Lindsey, we did have a couple of comments in the chat, so I was
Okay.
going to just share that. Karen Fralick said for social media, Meta is good, so you can schedule a bunch of posts and can link Facebook and Instagram together. And then Rebecca Harrell did say she loved that idea of that you did with the board with making your mark.
Yeah,
like
thank
that.
you. Yes, and that's going back to the social media. So, I mean, I'm going to dive more into this in my social media presentation in a couple weeks, but what I do is it is through Facebook. It's Creator Studio, and you can do a bunch of scheduling. So, if you don't want to be on your social media every single day, you can just schedule out a bunch of things, but I will dive more into that in a couple weeks. But yes, thank you, Karen. Hopefully that wasn't too much information for everybody. I try to get as much as I can without overwhelming. So.
Anybody else have any questions for Lindsey? Well, Lindsey, thanks. That was awesome. And you're right, it was a lot of information, but luckily this presentation deck and the video will be available. So you can go back and look at it. You can also share this video and the presentation deck with other members of your board to make it a discussion point. I will say Lindsey's being a little modest. She has not been slacking, even though she's said that. She's been busting her butt. So as you can see from all these great ideas and presentations. So please, she gave you your takeaways. I'm going to do one more takeaway just to re-emphasize the one to reach out to her. I mean, that's why she's here. You can see her enthusiasm for it. She's all about it. So please don't hesitate to contact her or really any member of our staff. So we're going to wrap it up. Thank all of you for being here. Please join us next week. That session will be on our tennis service representatives. And until then, everyone take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.